Great, great. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Great.
Hi, we have Mr. Renninger. Hello.
Hello.
Alex is from Germany.
Yeah, I'm Steve Goss from California. How are you?
Yeah, Steve. Alex is from Germany. He's under Jimmy Thompson.
Oh, great, great. Wow. Jim Thompson, great man.
Yeah.
Good to meet you.
Maybe he'll zoom in because he was in the last Zoom. He came in. He just come in late. That's all.
Great. Rob,
Hey,
here.
hello. Good morning, everyone. Morning, Steve.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Mr. Rodriguez, good morning. Good evening.
Good morning. Good morning, good evening. For me, it's morning.
Yeah. You too. Tammy. How you doing, Tammy?
I'm good. How are you, Peggy?
Very good, thank you. Is Christian coming?
Yeah, they're both here. They're just getting dressed.
Oh, good, good. Good. Canada. Way at the end. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning there. I saw Johnny Hawkins, but I don't see him anymore. John Hawkins. John Hawkins, unmute yourself.
I think Steve.
There's Walter. That's good to see you. Antonis, maybe you can help John Hawk. There you go. How you doing, Johnny?
You did a wild game wave.
How are you? Your sound is off. Unmute.
How's that? Any better?
Good. Yeah, much better. Much better.
You look great today.
Thank you. This is the guy who sent us that T-shirt we was talking about the T-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
How's Ryan doing?
Last time I talked to him a few days ago, he's doing really well.
Good. See, Walter's here. I see Walter Kobesi. Walter's got no video, though. Couldn't see. I lost it. No. What happened? Antonis, can you get me back online? I don't know what happened.
I'll make a call this morning as well, huh, Rob?
Beautiful day in the neighborhood, right, Steve?
Download. Antonis, can you help me out?
Hello, Dunnigan's crew.
Ah, there you are.
Nice to see you. Hello, good. Wow.
No, that's okay. John, where are you? John Hopkins, where are you? You have a beautiful background.
In my living room.
That's your living room? That looks like the Tommy mats.
It would be fantastic if it were real, but it's sort of a fake background. So.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful.
Beautiful background. Hey, John Scully, how you doing?
Hi, Peggy Sensei.
How's your boy doing?
He's all right. He's actually getting ready to go to work.
That's good. That's good.
Yes, it is. He's a bagger at the local market basket.
Oh, good for him. Good for him.
How's everything in Florida?
Everything's going great. Everything's going good. Yeah. I was up in Massachusetts for a little under a month. I had some things I needed to take care of, but now I'm home. It's nice to go, nice to come back.
I hope I saw your note about some kind of operation. I hope everything's going
Yeah,
well.
everything's fine. I'm threatened with recovery. But I just got to be careful until I see the doctor next. There's stitches involved. That's why I got to be careful.
Got it. Well, be careful.
Peggy,
Huh?
I said, you behave yourself. Speedy recovery.
Yeah. I got to drink more beer. I don't see Andrea Giant. How are you, Andre? Your microphone is off. And Tom. Oh, Rochelle Young, how are you?
Fine. I see my camera's not on.
Yeah, true. Hey, see if you can find it. How you been?
Good. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Very good. Paul Zach, how you doing there, buddy?
Hello.
Paul Zach, how's your mother? Is she going to join us?
Hello, everybody. Hey there.
Who is this saying hello? Michael Motier. Have we ever met before? Have I ever met you?
No.
I'm Peggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't recognize you, but then that doesn't mean anything.
I cannot speak very loud today because I'm joining through my son's room, so he's sleeping there.
We hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Michael Motier, where are you from?
I'm from Luxembourg, and I was a student with Takemi Takayasu, and now you're in Shinjo.
And now you with Shinjo?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I was previously in France, and I moved to Luxembourg 3 years ago.
Oh, okay. Well, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Michael, my name's Michael Murphy. I'm in Spangdahlem.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Perhaps we can get together and train.
Of course, yeah, sure. Would be.
Let's make sure we exchange emails. Or
Absolutely.
You're in the group. I'll message you from the group.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
All right, Michael Motier. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, I would love to, absolutely, because I feel a bit alone in my country.
Well, I've been training with Alex online through the whole coronavirus. He does classes 3 nights a week online. This is the first time I've driven out. It's 4 hours away. But Luxembourg is a lot closer, not that I don't want to continue to train with these lovely people, but having someone local to train with would be awesome too.
I didn't quite catch where you are.
Right now we're in Bad Kissingen.
Okay, right.
It's right in the center of Germany. It's northern
genau.
Bavaria, Franconia, and he's at the Luxembourg border.
Okay.
Close to the Luxembourg border, Mike.
Me too. Me too. I'm living 2 kilometers from Luxembourg in Pearl, in Saarland.
Alex, when you brought me and Jack and we all went to Luxembourg, what was the name of the cemetery? Do you remember?
Oh, no, I don't remember. Where
Okay.
his father was buried, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the American Cemetery.
Yeah. We went there. We took Jack Summers. It was like an 8 or 9 hour drive from Bad Kissingen to get to the International Cemetery in Luxembourg.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cemetery.
Mike Murphy, nice to see you. Hard to keep track of where you're at in the world.
How have you been?
Very well, thank you. Nice to see
Steve,
you.
it's been too long.
I know it's been way too long, but I can't try to chase you, but every time I go to find you, you're somewhere else.
I expected to see you in Okinawa at some point while I was there.
Yeah, well, I was there a couple of years ago and haven't had
Must
a
have
chance.
just missed me. I left 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Life's great though, Steve.
Yeah, wonderful to see you.
Good to see you as well.
I see you now, Rochelle. How you been, honey?
Good. How are you, Peggy?
Very good. You haven't changed. We just got grayer. That's all.
Yeah, that's about it. Got grayer, a few pounds heavier thanks to the stay-at-home order.
Yeah. That
The dojo.
Go ahead.
Sensei hasn't opened up the dojo yet, and it's been 6 months.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Is he doing any Zoom lessons?
Marcus is teaching Zoom a couple nights a week, but that's it. But hopefully they'll open soon.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, it's been too long.
Yeah, you're right. It's time to open up.
Right, I agree.
Yeah, she came on the Women's Friendship Tour with us, Rochelle. She was out of Michigan.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. Ohio gozaimasu. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Peggy. How you doing?
Very good, dear. How you doing?
Most excellent, thanks.
How's your mom? Okay?
Paul, you are on mute. Paul, unmute yourself.
Oh, yeah. She has pancreatic cancer, so she's been fighting that for a year, like last March. But she did a lot of karate. She went through 2 parts of 2 classes this last week online. So she's tough.
Good.
I'll tell her you're asking for her.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. How you doing, Evan? You, Jenny? Mr. Rubenson?
Hey, Paul. It's Rob Vanderbilt in California. Please give my regards to your mom.
Thanks, Rob. I will do that. She'll be delighted that you were asking for her.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm sorry to hear that she's ill.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Rob, how you doing there, buddy?
I'm doing all right, Peggy.
Good. Hey,
So
Barry. Excuse me.
Supposed to get to 106 here today.
Whoa. We've had pretty hot weather here, too. I stay in the house a lot because it's too hot. Can't go outside and do any yard work. It's too strenuous for me right now, but it's been hot in Florida, too. I'm surprised we haven't had any more hurricanes hitting us. I see Okinawa is getting hit right now.
Yeah. It passed. It was a couple of days ago, but it's now kind of over.
Yeah, I was talking with Mason this morning. He said it was just coming over them now.
Oh, okay. Is this something different? Because I talked with Hamada last week, and he told me that it's about to end. Maybe it's something new. I don't know.
Yeah, there was a second one that come through because Mason said this morning it was howling over him as we communicated.
Oh.
That was this morning about 5:30.
Okay, I see.
I think there were two. Barry Coles, how you doing over there in England?
Hi, Peggy. Yeah, not too bad, thank you. How's yourself?
I'm doing good. I love that accent.
The old Essex twang, as they call it.
Yeah. Say hello to everybody for me.
Will do, Peggy, will do.
We got one new participant, I think, Mr. John Hawkins. Hello.
Hello, sir. How are you?
They're all doing fine. Where are you from? Where are you joining us from today?
I'm in Florida, United States.
Give us your history, John.
I'm sorry?
Give us your history. You know how you started over in Europe?
Right. I started with Ted Kresge here in Florida back in the early mid-'70s. And trained all over the place. I ran a school in England, actually, at RAF Lakenheath for about 3 years. I'm currently studying with Ryan Dean in Largo, Florida.
John, I just sent a video of Ted Kresge to someone over in Florida named Terry Corral or Sorrell. He's I don't know who. I think he's working out with Ken Washington, I think. But I had a video of Ted Kresge in Germany, and I sent him the video. And he had a copy made, and he just returned my copy. It's just a few minutes of online when he was in Germany.
Oh my, I would love to see that. It's got to be from the mid-'60s or late '60s.
I have no idea. Somewhere I got the video, and I happened to meet Terry online, and he was asking about Ted Kresge, and I jumped in and said that I believe I had a video of him, which I sent, and he had made out professionally. He just sent back the video of my VHS, because it was on a VHS. He sent that back along with the disc. If I can know how to make a disc, if I can make a disc, I'll make one for you. If not, I'll send you mine and you can make it. And it sounds like you're a little bit more computer oriented, as you can put a nice background on the back. I just got my house. But yeah, I'll get it to you.
Okay, thanks, Peggy. I appreciate it.
By any chance, do you have his book?
You mean the encyclopedia?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
I've got a copy of the Master's Cajon, which we were able to order back in, I think, 77 or 78, the original one.
What do you have?
The Master's Cajon.
I don't know about that. Oh, I don't know about that.
Master Uechi's book.
Master Uechi's book. Oh, okay. The Keon. But you don't know anyone. Do you know anyone that's got a copy of the encyclopedia?
No, and I've been searching for 20 years. I used to have one in the dojo, and we got to sit and play with it every day, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah. I saw a copy in America first, and then I saw a copy in Master Uechi's brother, Kansei Uechi's dojo, way up on the top. But now I hear Mike Gizak has that copy. They gave it to him. But I saw the copy. I saw a copy of it in up in Nago.
Yeah, there weren't a whole lot of them produced. It was a very limited edition.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Should we start? It's already a couple of minutes past So can we start with Hojo Undo, perhaps? And maybe our friends at Denningan's Karate, the brave ones that wake up so early every time, and they become more and more every time. Would you like to lead Hojo Undo? Hello there in Canada.
Sure, sounds great.
Nice
Thank
move,
you,
nice
Sensei.
move.
Hey there. Hey guys.
Hopefully you can hear us.
It's a wonderful dojo as well.
Oh, thank you. Great. Okay, so Hojo Undo, let's get ready. Hojo Undo, Migi Hashimai, Sukuto Gari. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Step. Showman Gary, blood front kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. We're going all the way through, I guess. Washizuki, punch each, knee, some, she, go, rock, sheet, hatch, each, knee, some, she, go, rock, sheet, hatch, each, knee, some, she, go, rock, sheet, hatch. Shomensuki, reverse punch. Each, knee, some, she, go, rock, sheet, hatch. Each, knee, some, she, go, rock, sheet, hatch. Each, knee, some, she, go, rock, sheet, hatch. Same thing, other side. Each, knee, some, she, go, rock, sheet, hatch. Each, knee, some, she, go, rock, sheet, hatch. Each, knee, some, she, go, rock, sheet, hatch. Step. Shuto uch, uruch, shokensuki. Each, knee, some, she, go, rock, sheet, hatch. Each, knee, some, she, go, rock, sheet, hatch. Each, knee, some, she, go, rock, sheet, hatch. Then another side. Each, knee, some, she, go, rock, sheet, hatch. Each, knee, some, she, go, rock, sheet, hatch. Each, knee, some, she, go, rock, sheet, hatch. Hijusuki. Each, knee, some, she, go, rock, sheet, hatch. 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 Each, knee, some, she, 6、7、8、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8。持久系フィルキン次。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8。Same thing, other side. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8。Tension Zen Sokugeri. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8。So,右足前、tension 高速蹴り。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8。左足前、tension 正拳突き。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8。右足前、正面はじき。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8。左足前、正面抜き、ストリッピング。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8。声の四分打ち、縦打ち。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8。2、3、4、5、6、7、8。1、2、4、5、6、7、8。1、2、4、5、6、7、8。1、2、4、5、6、7、8。声の四分打ち、横打ち。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8。1、2、4、 4 5 6 7 8 2 3 4 5 6 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 4 5 6 7 8 Pink.
Thank you, Sensei. Thank you.
Сегодня вы хотите зуму, потом скажете, все скажут. Я не знаю, кто, там у меня на это.
Mr. Michel Moutier, would you like to lead our first Sanchin, please? Sanchin. Thank you, Sensei. Mr. Steve Sensei, would you like to lead the next Sanchin, please?
Sanchin, Migi Yashimai. Yo. Málate. Wait.
Thank you, Sensei. Thank you very much. Mr. Rodolfo Sensei, would you like to lead the next Sanchin, please? I think you are muted. Could it be? Okay, thank you. Perfect. Thank you, Sensei. All right. Let's continue with Kanchuaka. Mrs. Rochelle Young, would you like to lead the first Kanchuaka, please? If you're muted, maybe. Okay.
My count's not too good.
All right. Thank you.
Konnichiwa. Wait. Set. Itch. Ning. San. Shing. Go. Rock. Seach. Hatch. Cool. Jew. Itch. Ning. San. Ning. Go.
Thank you, Sensei. Thank you. Great, great. Thank you very much. CV Sensei. CV Nisok. Would you like to lead the next Kanchiwakata, please? This is my friend CV Nisok from India. I cannot hear you so well. Would you like to lead the next Kanchiwakata, please?
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
Son, go, go. It's me.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you.
Mr. David Kaufman, would you like to lead the next Kanchiwakata, please?
Kanchukata.
Kanchiwa.
Shiwa.
Kanchiwa. Thank you.
It's good. Wait. Get on. Itch. Beat. Run. Cheek. Wait. Beat. Punch. Hip. Hip. Beat. Hi. It's good. Right?
Thank you. Thank you. Kanshu kata. Mr. Lionel. Where do you come from?
France.
Where are you from? France. Okay. Awesome. Hello.
Awesome.
Would you like to lead the Kansu kata? Thank you.
Kansu.
Kansu.
Kansu. Ich. He. Son. In. Go. Rock. Sich. Awate. Ich. He. Son. He. Go. Rock. Sich. Awate. Ich. He. Son. He.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Mr. Lions, would you like to lead the Kansu kata, please?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Kata Kansu. Ray? Yoi? Ich. Ni. Son.
Sensei. Sorry. Maybe my voice wasn't strong enough. Kansu, not Kansua. Kansu. Thank you.
Kata Kansu. Yoi? Ich. Ni. Son. Chi. Go. Rook. Ha. Ich. Ni. Son. Chi. Go. Volgen. Break.
Apologize for not speaking clearly. Mr. Andrea told me that sounds Italian.
Antonis, Antonis, your voice is breaking up. It's not very clear at all.
Yeah, I understood that.
Okay.
Would you like to lead the next Kansu kata? Sure. Kansu. Thank you, sir.
関数。はい。お願いします。はじめ。1、2、3、4、5、6。回って。1、2、3、4、5、6、7。回って。1、2、
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Shaitin. Mr. Walter Kobayashi, would you like to lead the next Seichin kata, please? Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Pitch. Me. She. Go. Rock. Pitch. Go. Joe. Pitch. Me. Done. She. Go. Go. Yeah.
Thank you, Sensei. Thanks a lot. Paul Swift, would you like to lead the next Seichin kata, please?
Okay.
Thank you.
By the numbers, ready? Itch. Go. Rook. Teach. Move. Two. Itch. Teach. One. Rook. Teach. Two. Two. Itch. Three. Down. Chi. Go. Rook. Teach.
That's good. That's good.
More?
No, that's good.
Thank you, Paul Sensei. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
All right. Seisan kata, Seisan. Alexander Sensei. Hello to you. Would you like to lead Seisan kata, please? Please unmute yourself.
Seisan.
All right.
Okay. Seisan. Hey. Oi. Pitch. Knee. Thumb. Chin. Go. Rock. Six. Punch. Two. Pitch. Knee. Thumb. Chin. Go. Rock. Six. Punch. Two. Pitch. Knee. Thumb. Chin. Go. Rock. Three.
Thank you, Sensei. Oh. Great. Robert Sensei, would you like to lead the next Seisan, please? Please unmute yourself.
Seisan, Rob.
Thank you, Sensei.
Hey, hey. Good. Hey. Hey. Whoa. Oh. Whoa. Go. Yeah. Fun. Yeah. Oh. Go. Eat. Yeah. Sun. Chip. Hey. Hey.
Thank you, Sensei. Thank you very much. Evgeny Sensei, would you like to lead the next session, please? Thank you. Hello, Evgeny.
Ok, ce qui est... Oui. Oui, c'est 100, お願いします。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、もって9、10、1、2、もって3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10。はい、気をつけ。はい。はい、ありがとうございます。Thank you very much.
Thank you, Evgeny-san.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Let's move on with Seitin.
Can you?
Sorry. Mr. Barry Cole, would you like to lead the first stereo, please?
Yeah, certainly, no problem at all. Here we go.
Thank you.
Right. Hey. Right. Hey. Hey. Go. Hey. Right. Hey. One. Hey. Go. Look. Right. Right. Pitch. Right. Right. Step back. Get together.
Thank you, Sensei. Hiroko Sensei, would you like to lead next? Stereo, please. Please unmute yourself. Next. Thank you, Hiroko Sensei. Thank you very much. Okay. Is there anyone who hasn't led a kata yet? Norm, Sensei, would you like to lead the next kata?
Seiru Kata Sensei?
Hi, Sensei. Hi, Seiru. Seiru, yes. Thank you.
Kata. Seiru. Okay. Right? No? Go. Teach. Watch. Go. Do. Teach. Knee. So. Knee. Go. Go. Teach. Watch.
For you.
Two. Close game.
Oh, he does it with you.
Thank you, Sensei. Thank you, Sensei. Janning, if you'd like to read the next canteen kata, please. Thank you. Are you still muted? I think you are still muted.
Hey, that's it. Hey.
Okay.
Hansi. Each. San. Go. Each. Ach. Hip. Tip. Each. San. Go. Each. Touch. Hip. Tip. All right. Hey.
Thank you, Sensei. Thanks a lot. Is there anyone who would have a chance to take the kata? I've seen all of us have led kata so far, yeah? Okay, John Scully Sensei, would you like to lead the next kanchin, please? Thank you, Sensei.
Oh, that's a different guy. He's a different guy. Okay. And then. Continue.
Thank you, Sensei. All right. Great. Great. Sensei, would you like to lead the kanchin kata, please? Please, Sensei. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Kanchin.
Thank you, Sensei. Thank you. Robert Sensei, would you like to lead the first Sensei Ryu, please? Thank you. Thank you, Sensei. Thank you very much. Alexander Renger, Sensei, would you like to answer you, please? Thank you.
Okay, Sensei Ryu.
Unsettled. Right? Right? Knee. Fun. Cheek. Go. Stitch. Punch. Two. Knee. Fun. Cheek. Go. Stitch. Punch. Two.
Thank you, Sensei. Excellent. Evgeny, would you like to lead the next Sensei Ryu kata, please?
はい、気をつけ。気をつけ。はい。3セリュ。気をつけ。はい、ありがとうございます。
Thank you again, Sensei. Would you like to lead the Sensei Ryu kata, please? Sensei Ryu. Hi. Thank you, Sensei. Thank you. Last Sensei Ryu. Kiroko Sensei, I need one last Sensei Ryu, please.
師匠だ。
はい。はい。完成日、用意。はい。はい。はい。はい。はい。はい。はい。
Hey. 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 Hey.
Interesting. So, we are already 1 hour and 10 minutes after we started. It's like 10 minutes more for Q&A, for questions and answers, or for if anyone in this room to say something specific, or who would like to let, or if anyone like to demonstrate and discuss something different, or something that they do the way they do it, we would be glad to inspect you and your technique and maybe discuss about it. So we got 10 minutes more for free demonstrations and questions and discussion.
Well, I'll start. I just have a couple of comments, and it's in general. I've always been taught, and of course I've been watching everybody. I think it's important that we all maintain that shoulder width. People are getting away from
Sensei, there is something in front of your camera, something white, like a paper or something.
Yeah, that's my, okay.
And the NSA protection, okay.
Better? Better?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just a couple of general comments as an instructor that I look for when I teach. I think it's important that we all maintain shoulder width. And so when I work out, I constantly check myself and make sure that my knees, when I'm shoulder width apart, that my knees are about one fist in a thumb. If when you check this on chin, if you can't touch your knees with that one hand, then chances are you're wider than shoulder width. And naturally, we stand 90 degrees to the earth. So when we stand natural, which is the way we stand, shoulder width, if we bend our knees and we can touch both knees with one fist and maybe a thumb, then you're in the ballpark. But if you get wider and longer and you bend your knees, you cannot maintain that one fist. So it's a good thing to constantly check that your knees are, your feet are shoulder width. And that's very important. I always check myself so that I don't get away from the Sanchin stance. Then another thing I always teach, and I noticed a lot of people doing it, are doing it this way rather than the way I'm about to say. Whenever you turn, your head should always lead the movement. A lot of times people turn and they keep looking in this direction as they turn. And so naturally, as Kanmei Uechi said to me in the camp, everything in Uechi is natural. And so it's natural to turn your head whenever you change direction. So when we're in a Sanchin stance, we want a Mawate, or we want to turn 90 degrees, the head should always lead the movement. The head shouldn't be left behind like this. And I notice some people, when they turn, if I can still see their eyes, that means they're not leading with their head. And so I believe the head should usually always lead. And then another thing that was constantly corrected on me, and so I don't do it no more, and this was corrected by Master Uechi, when the different times that I would go to Okinawa when I was at the Futama Dojo. And people have a tendency to do this before they do this. And when I was in Futama Dojo, Master Uechi, because I was going out like this to wind up, which a lot of people do, it's a common mistake, he took my hand and right from me, he brought it over to the other wrist, and then he held it there and made me come straight back. So he didn't want me to do this because see what happened, you just left your Sanchin. So when you're in Sanchin, this just comes straight over. It doesn't have to leave Sanchin to get over here. So that's another correction or that I constantly will correct myself on if I'm doing it in the mirror or if I'm watching somebody and I see them go out like this, I'll grab their hand to show them that there's no need to come out here. There's no wind up. It's just right from Sanchin. Your hand comes right over to the opposite wrist and straight back. Then another thing, people got to understand, they got to keep their thumbs in. What I do a lot, all the time, I'll take a piece of tissue paper and I'll just put it in or a coin and I'll walk around with it. And it's almost like natural now that my thumbs stay in. Of course, I always get caught with them out. They've been dislocated, but it's important that we keep our thumbs in. And I noticed a lot of people, and I corrected a lot, whenever you change directions, you should never look down. Because when you look down, you come out of your Sanchin. Whenever you change directions of anything, your eyes should always be straight. And eyes are very important. Takamiyagi Sensei put out a paper that said, what are the 5 most important things of Sanchin? And the first one was to build your body strong. And what else do you get? You get a consolidated stance, a proper breathing technique. But and of course to foster self-awareness, but the 5th or 3rd or whatever you want to call it, is to develop a penetrating eye. So whenever you do your kata, your eyes shouldn't be everywhere. We should try to maintain our eyes looking into our own opponent's eyes. And I get that from Kiyohide Shinjo Sensei. Many, many years ago, he told me that every morning his father would get up, a dad, if you don't understand my accent, his dad would get up and when he brushed his teeth, he'd look in the mirror and make eyes at himself, right into his own eyes, to develop his penetrating eye. And so I see a lot of people, when they do their kata, their eyes are everywhere. They should be looking right into someone their own height, weight, and body size so that they're thinking about performing whatever technique they're doing it into their own eyes, their own height level. And so we need to develop, more people, I believe, need to develop this penetrating eye. So that's just a couple of comments. I don't want to hog it. Someone else might have some interesting comments to make. But just to reiterate, 5 things: keep about 1 fist distance between your knees. You always must maintain 90 degrees to the earth. When we stand natural, we stand 90. We don't stand like this. We don't stand like this. Naturally, we stand 90 degrees to the earth, and that is the beauty of our Sanchin. As long as we stay shoulder width, we have everything. One more thing, even on our horse stance, when we get into a horse stance, I got to be careful. When we get into a horse stance, you should stay shoulder width. If you stay shoulder width and then bend, your knees will be 90 degrees over your feet. If you go any wider or any longer, then your lower leg is out at an angle, and that's not maximum push up from the ground. So you always want to maintain that 90 degrees to the earth, whether you're in horse stance or in Sanchin. And that means shoulder width. As long as you stay shoulder width, you will maintain that 90. And of course, in the horse stance, shoulder width, but you can't go too long where your front leg is out here somewhere. Your front leg, as you can see, the Okinawans have beautiful horse stances because they sit. They don't go longer, they don't go wider, they just go in Sanchin and they sit. They go down. So it's very important that you maintain that 90 degrees to the earth. I have many things I can say, but I'd love to hear what other people got to say.
You can just see the person who's talking.
Anybody? Well, if no one's going to say anything, I'm going to say something else. I got this from Shingaki Arakaki. He's not active right now, I don't think, but I got something very important from him. And what he taught me was that everything in Uechi Ryu is 45 degrees or a combination of 45 or 90. Everything we do has triangles in Sanchin and everything. Everything is triangles. The only, in the blue book, in Master Wage's big Kihon book, he shows a diagram of Sanchin, and he has a 90-degree angle and a 30-degree angle. A 30-degree angle with the front foot to the midline. So we know, physically, we know that there's only 180 degrees in a triangle. So if the first angle is 90 and the given angle is 30, we know the other angle has to be 60. So on the horizontal plane, we have a 90, 60, 30 triangle. But for the most part, everything we do is a combination of 45. For instance, we step off 45, we turn 90, we turn 180. They're all combinations of 45. Even when we bring our hands up, it's a rising 45-degree angle. It's not this way. When we bring our hands up, it should come out as a rising 45. Our body being straight, the ground creating the 90 and the 45-degree angle coming up. Because when we end, we're in a 45-degree angle. So it's very important that we remember those angles because they're very stable triangles in nature. 30, 60, 90, 45, 45, 90. They're very important triangles, and they exist throughout our whole Sanchin stance and through the execution of all of our techniques. In 1983, George Mattson had in 1984, George Mattson had a winter camp, a summer camp, and Master Uechi came with his brother, and he brought the all-Okinawan karate champion, Kata, which was Oshiro, and he brought the all-Okinawan for that year Kumite champion, which was Mayamiya. And Mayamiya got up on stage, and he demonstrated the proper, in his opinion, which I have to agree 100%, the proper way to deliver a front kick. And basically what he did was he got up on stage in front of 400 of us, and he showed that when you do a kick, you can't go, you have to think of a triangle. And you can't think of it side, 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 down. You have to think of it as the foot is a rising 45 degrees along the hypotenuse. And then you recoil it and put it down. So the kick goes 1, 2, 3, not 1, 2, 3, 4. If you come up along the side and you execute along the side of the triangle, then you never utilize the hypotenuse. And if someone's coming into you and you bring your knee up, you get jammed. You need to, as he explained, you need to stop the offense out here, which means the foot rises at a rising 45-degree angle. So your foot should go along the pipe. This is from Mayamiya. Your foot should go along the hypotenuse and then recover along the two lines of the triangle. That was in 1983 that Mayamiya, that I picked up that little bit of information. Usually when I get these little bits of information, I like to tell people where I got it from so they don't think it's Peggy Hess rule, and they understand where I get this little hints of doing the technique. You there, Antonis?
And Peggy Sensei.
Hi.
I have one question, Peggy Sensei.
Sure.
Yeah, could you please explain about the breathing method of stanching on each and every kata?
Well, in the breathing, this is the way I teach it. First of all, the Master Uechi's Kihon, if you get it translated under the breathing section, it says that the breathing should be short, small, short, sharp, and quick. Short, sharp, and quick. And I always add silent. Short, sharp, quick, and silent. And normally, as always, we've always been taught to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And some people breathe on the technique and some people breathe after the technique. Myself, I always breathe after the technique. Anytime I was in the Futama Dojo, Master Uechi, like Takara Sensei does now, breathes along with you as you go to the technique. And if you listen to his breathing, you'll see that he breathes after the technique. You don't hold your breath. You don't hold your breath so you explode, but you inhale, you execute, and then short, sharp, and quick. So myself, I don't breathe on the technique. I breathe after the technique. There are points where I'll breathe, where I'll inhale, I'll hold it. And when I step, it should almost be like a train. Your breathing should sound like a train, like a locomotive. But I never breathe on the technique. And according to the Uechi book, it should be short, sharp, quick, and I add silent. That's what I think about the breathing. It should definitely be through the nose. If people don't understand this, but our body, when we breathe, our body is the same atmospheric pressure as outside. That's why when we go to bed at night, we don't have to even think about breathing. As long as we keep our mouth open, the atmospheric pressure inside our body cavity remains the exact same as the pressure outside. If you hold your breath, and if I say, everybody, hold your breath right now, you'll feel the pressure building up, building up, building up, because you're changing the difference between the atmosphere in your body and out. That's why they always tell you, when you're doing Sanchin, keep your mouth open. If your mouth isn't open and it's closed, then everything has to go through the nose. You breathe and you exhale, and that is not correct. The correct way is to take your tongue and put it on the back of your roof as you exhale. It should be like a snake, short, sharp, quick, quiet. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. But you must always keep your mouth open or you will not create that circular breath. And what happens is when your mouth is closed, you start to build up all this pressure, and before you know it, you're out of breath. All of our kata are anaerobic movement. They're not aerobic, they're anaerobic. It's a short, quick burst of energy. It's not like a long distance run. It's a short run, and that's anaerobic. And we get our energy from different places when we do an anaerobic movement versus an aerobic with air. Anaerobic is without air, basically, not technically, but I say less breathing, anaerobic. That's my comment on breathing. I hope that helped you out.
Thank you so much,
Sensei. May I ask you one thing?
Who, me?
Yeah. Could you show how you do the technique with the breathing again, like showing the movement and then the technique just for me to visualize?
Let me think for a minute because I'm it's inhale, hold, exhale, inhale, hold. You can even exhale a little here, because if you find yourself starting to build up, that means you got too much carbon dioxide in you. So don't be afraid to do a couple extra to get it out, because carbon dioxide is a byproduct of energy release. Okay. When we breathe in, part of the dynamics of breathing is we sweat You know, a byproduct of energy release is releasing water and releasing carbon dioxide. And if you hold your mouth closed, all that carbon dioxide is building up. Before you know it, you get a pain. It's called ischemia, ISCHEMIA, I think. It's because of a lack of oxygen in your body. That's why I say, if you just keep your mouth open and exhale, that's where, don't worry about breathing in. Worry about exhaling, because if you exhale, you'll have room to breathe. If you worry about breathing and you're not worried about exhaling, there's no room to breathe, and carbon dioxide will build up and will fatigue you. So to me, I tell people, don't worry about breathing. You're going to breathe automatically. As soon as there's a difference in atmospheric pressure from the inside of your chest to the outside, the air will come rushing in. You have no say over it. This function of breathing that us humans have is called parasympathetic. In other words, we don't have to think about it. It's an automatic function of the body. When we go to sleep, we don't say, oh, I think I've got to remember to breathe. No, we just go to bed and we breathe. So if you worry about exhaling more importantly than breathing, you should be okay. As long as you exhale and keep your mouth open, the air will exchange with the atmosphere automatically. And it's not, there's no secret, you know what I mean? It's just, that's just the way our body works. Did that help you out?
Sure. I just need to visualize how is it, because honestly, I exhale with the technique, but I have a reason for that. The way I learned, because no one ever in my life taught me how to breathe while fighting. But for example, when I'm doing comité with someone, I always pay attention to their breathing. If they are breathing too loud, I know when they're exhaling and inhaling. And then when they exhale, I do my movement. They cannot move because the next move they have to inhale again. So they do not have enough energy to move. So I always think about.
You're right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's why I also try to not show my breathing when I'm fighting, because then people know when to hit me.
Absolutely. When you see someone go,
yes, exactly.
You want to get it on because they're dead. They're dead in the water. Yeah.
Exactly. For example, the first time my first sensei that I had was Shotokan Sensei. The first time I could land a punch on him, it was because I was paying attention to his breathing. When he made exhaling, the next movement should be inhaling. And when he inhaled, he didn't have speed enough to defend. And then I could do it. And I was so happy. And then I bring this with me always.
That's why when you're fighting, you see the Okinawans. They don't go up and down. They come in and out. They reserve their energy and they bounce in and out. Most people go up and down. But if you go in and out and keep your head one level, that also helps the fighter to, not show 3 dimensions. When you start moving up and down, you're adding depth to the visual. But if you stay one level, you eliminate depth. And so it's harder for your opponent to read how fast you're coming at them.
Okay. I agree.
I have a couple of brief comments on breathing if you're interested.
Love to. Yeah.
Okay. I'm Stephen Goss, I practice in California. I'm trained as a respiratory therapist. So without getting too involved in respiratory physiology, I'll give you some thoughts. We require to move certain functions. The function of breathing is to bring oxygen into the system, expel carbon dioxide, as if carbon dioxide builds up too much, we become acidotic, we have a lot of problems.
Steve, talk a little slower because there's an after echo. Just talk a little slower so we can catch everything.
Okay. We require moving a certain amount of air in and out of our system, depending on what we're doing. When we're at rest, we move about 5 liters of air per minute out of our lungs. At maximal exercise, we must move up to 130 liters a minute to regulate breathing and pH in our system. In Uechi, we breathe shallow so we can splint the muscles, maintain muscle strength, protect the organs. And as Herrick says, we're not broadcasting to our opponent when we're full of air or when we fully exhale. Because we require a certain amount of air with exercise and we take shallow breaths, we must take very rapid. We need to take many breaths a minute to regulate the rate. Now the exhalation, the sound of exhalation is expiratory resistance or retard. Hissing sound splints the small bronchioles open in the airways that are collapsible. Under heavy exercise, those small bronchioles will collapse and we can't get air to the fourth part of the lungs. Expiratory resistance splints the small airways open and we can recruit all parts of the lungs to aerate. Now, with the expiratory resistance, I often hear people bear down very strongly. That can be a big mistake. Bearing down very strongly can create a vagal-basal response to the cranial nerves and can cause you actually to faint and cause cardiac arrhythmias. So don't bear down when you exercise. No heavy and pushing. Very gentle. So rapid breathing in order to maintain our minute ventilation. Expiratory resistance. Keep the small bronchioles expanded, making all of the lungs work for you. And those are the keys to breathing in Sanshin breathing. So rapid, shallow, expiratory resistance. There's reasons for all of those parts. I hope that makes sense. As far as breathing when you strike or waiting till after you deliver the strike is pretty much a personal preference. Peggy, you know, you hear different people doing it different ways and they have different opinions. So it's a personal preference.
Yes.
As you say, Herrick, you don't want to tell your opponent when you're breathing. It has to be very quiet. When we're newer and we're learning breathing, we make quite a bit of noise. As you get more advanced, it becomes very quiet. The major muscle of ventilation is the diaphragm. We don't want to pull our accessory muscles of ventilation. As Herrick says, he can see me breathing if we're fighting. I'm going to use the diaphragm to pull down very shallow breaths. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of how respiratory physiology works and how it works for the practice of Uechi Ryu.
I got a question, Steve. So I always tell my people that they need to keep their diaphragm somewhat, you know, down. The diaphragm shouldn't be moving up and down a lot. It should sort of stay down. And like, I don't know, I'm sure you've seen it when someone will take a stick and they put it on your diaphragm and you got to step with the stick and they give you resistance. So I try to tell people that you can't have your diaphragm up. It's got to stay down and somewhat, I guess, hard so that you can move your body forward without inhaling. So is that so? Would you say that's correct or incorrect or dangerous or?
Well, I think you're right as far as the abdominals and the obliques stay strong and focused. The diaphragm is the hemidiaphragm, big muscles, and the major muscle of ventilation. We must use the diaphragm, actively pull down the diaphragm to breathe and relax it when it comes up. Otherwise, you're using the accessory muscles of ventilation, the intercostals, internal cleidomastoids. So you want to eliminate that so you're not opening your chest. So you
basically you're breathing with your diaphragm like a bellow, like a
very much so. But the trick is, as you say, you need to learn to move your diaphragm without expanding your abdominals and your obliques.
Exactly. So yeah, that's what I meant. Thanks. That's sort of what I meant. You put it on the nose for me. Good.
So that's my 2 cents on breathing.
That was perfect.
Thank you, Sensei.
I'll ask a question. Could Sensei Steve or Sensei Peggy there, could you guys go over the last move in Sensei Ryu? Kakashiken?
Okay. Go ahead, Steve.
Mr. Reben, Evgeny Reben, are you on with us?
He should be. He's still around, I think. Evan, Reuben, where are you?
He does a very good the Koksen. Now the Koksen, I will tell you what I thought it was, and I will tell you what Makoto Sensei recently told me it should be. I thought it was coming. I thought it was extending. It's actually very short.
You know how to do it.
Pretty much consistent with this position of this hand. So here. So, yeah. There's two schools of thought. Tobaru Sensei strikes and bounces. Makoto Sensei strikes and comes back. I prefer this. Okay. Now, Peggy, how are you doing this? Because I go in Nekowashi Datsu.
I do too.
Here.
Yeah, I do too. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I do myself. I asked extensively, he just died recently, Hirosada Weiji. When I was in his dojo in 2015, I did Sansei Ryu for him. And he said, Peggy, you're up here somewhere, you're up here. And the reason why I got that, I was teaching it like that, was because in the early 80s, when I went to Okinawa, his Hirosada, when he was younger, gave Steve Banchek, a friend of mine, a video of him in front of Master Weiji. From what we understand, his dad, Kansei Weiji, sent his son, Hirosada, to go to Futama and learn from his older brother, Master Weiji. And in this video, it looked like Master Weiji was doing this. So that's how I taught. And then I'm watching, I'm going, it just doesn't feel right. And so now what I'm doing, I get in front of a mirror or a wall, and I just come to Sanchin. When I come to Sanchin, that's when I turn it and come straight down. So that you can't do this because there's nothing. It's just like when you're in one of the kumites, you grab someone like this. No, because this is weak. You have to be here. So you have your Sanchin. So same with the Sanchin Nugate, the Tsuruken. Here, I come to Sanchin. Because supposedly everything we do is supposed to end and begin in Sanchin. And so to me, I'd stand in front of a mirror and I'd bring my hand up. And as soon as I hit that mirror, which is where my Sanchin ends, I went straight up and turned it over and came down. And this business of pulling, that's right out of Kadena Dojo. I got that from Miyagi, not from Nagahodo. But they're both out of Kadena Dojo. They both are from Seiyu Shinjo. And when I took the women's friendship tour, Miyagi demonstrated to me. He came in, and then he wrapped his fingers right around my clavicle. He dug them in, and he pulled. I went, okay. But I mean, I like in and then grab. I don't like this. It's not really a poke, because as you know, if you follow that down, the only way you can activate it is to put pressure on it. If you just poke it and you don't poke it the right way and you don't pin it against anything, it's like a balloon. These arteries and veins are like balloons with water in them. Unless you might know that there's a way to activate something, but some things are activated with a strike and some things are activated with a push. And here, if you take your finger, and I don't know if you can do it, but if you put your finger right behind your ear and you draw that line straight down and in, you'll find that point. And the only way you can activate it is to push it against your clavicle. So to me, a poke is not as efficient as stick and then pull. I don't even pull though. When I teach it, can tell people there's a pull, but I don't ever remember anyone teaching me to pull it other than Miyagi. But I think that's the application, that's an extension of the actual kata to move itself. But even with Kan Hirasada, he come in, he said, Peggy, here, in. It's the closer I look now when I look at other videos, because I like a sharp eye, I see they don't come up over like this. It's not this. It's from Sanchin and turn it over and in, down. And as you said, Steve, you must have the elbow bent.
Here's a good point. If you look at my Canadian friend, if you look at what Peggy's doing, I see many people just doing it from the upper body here. It's the body that comes in and strikes.
Right, through the cat stance, yeah.
It's not striking just with the hand. It's the hand.
A heavy hand technique, yeah.
And the other thing is, Steve, you mentioned some people poke. I believe that's Kadena Dojo, because the first time I ever saw it was with Shinjo, and it was only recently. If you go to all your older videos, you don't see anyone, but Shinjo doesn't pull back. He comes in and and then he just uplifts it like a quarter of an inch. He doesn't come out of it like a poke. And a lot of, let's just talk about this here. Years ago, people used to say your hand had to be like this. But I don't believe that is so. I live in an area where there's many birds, many cranes and waterfowl that I watch them hunt. And when they hunt, they creep along and they pull their beak up, and it's this formation. It's not this. And one night when I was in Okinawa, Katsuji Tamayose, he brought me a gift, and it was a gift of, I'll show it to you.
So while she's getting that, Sensei Steve, is it a flow through or is there a pause here? So what I'm working on is a cut. So my guide block was coming too far across, so then my elbow was going out to the side, then adjusting and coming through. And Nakahodo Sensei said it's got to flow. So do you pause and then strike or wind up in a full circle, right? Okay, just let it flow right through, okay?
He brought this to me one night at 3 o'clock in the morning. We were at the headquarters, and he gave it to me. And what he did was he made it a point to show me. He said, Peggy-san, Kubi, it means neck. And he was going like this, meaning that the neck is curved. He wanted me to know that it wasn't like this, but it was like this, like a crane's beak, which is what this is, like a crane's beak. So that's just, a follow-up on the hand position of the koken or tsuru. Tsuru means crane, ken is knuckle, tsuru ken, crane's knuckle. Some people say koken. There's a couple of different names for that last move.
Also, I would avoid, you had a question about flowing through. There are many people coming out this way.
No. Yeah, no. I want to keep that tight, but what was happening is my elbow on my guide block, I was coming too far across, then I'm adjusting, and I'm thinking about Nakahodo saying it's got to flow through. And so cutting here straight so that my elbow comes through here in a circle.
Yeah.
Well, then I was wondering, do I pause or keep it just flow right through?
Go right through, and you want to get away from thinking of this.
Yeah, oh yeah.
In here.
Yes. Yeah.
Circles in this style. This way, and this way.
Okay, yes. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Okay, perfect.
Everyone that's listening, you never can go wrong if you keep your elbows in sanchin. And sanchin isn't a baseball, and it's not a basketball. It's a softball. Yep. And so as long as everything you do, you keep your elbows in that globe, you'll never go beyond your body line. Because if you stand in Sanchin, if you can reach the side of your body line without leaving Sanchin. But if you go beyond your body line, you've left Sanchin. So as us girls were lucky. We got big boobs and we get instant feedback that our elbows are there. You guys, it's not so easy. But I have instant feedback. If I'm not touching my boobs, I'm in trouble. So as long as you keep your elbows within that globe, you'll never go beyond your body. If you're up here, your elbows are not in Sanchin.
Oh.
Yeah,
it was just a very subtle piece. And so I was like, oh, okay, it's throwing me out a little bit. And I thought the circle straight on.
Stay close. Elbows always stay close to the body.
Right.
And then your hands will stay, because your hands are attached to your elbow. So wherever your elbow is, your hands are going to be. So if I'm standing like this, I block and I end like this, I'm wide open. But if I block and I end where? In Sanchin, no matter what. And I picked up, this is for everybody, I picked this up, Ruben posted a video. It was only about 2 or 3 minutes. It took me a while to figure out what Nakahodo was saying. But you know what? He pieced it all together to me, because he was trying to say, do not do this. Don't drop your hand down and come around. Don't drop. Because remember, we're supposed to stay in the same plane. And if I'm in Sanchin to begin with, and my fingertips are on this plane, if I drop my hand down, I go beyond that plane. And what Nakahodo was trying to say was, drop your elbow in. And he went like this. He put his hand down and he went like this. No, 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 no. You only see it for a second. And unless you keep looking at it, you might not even see him go, no, no, no. He don't want us to drop it down. He wants the elbow to move in front of you so that you're never exposed and you stay in Sanchin. It was a very good clip. We're very lucky that we have all these beautiful clips that people take when they go over to Okinawa, because then we can sit in our home and look at them. It's like you're there,
Perfect. Thank you very much. That was very helpful. Thank you.
Antonis, is Ruben still on?
No, I think he left.
It's time to everyone to raise the beer.
I can stay 2 hours more.
Yeah, explain, Antonis.
Thank you very much, everybody. That's great.
Just for those people that are still on, it's been very difficult trying to get someone from Okinawa because of the restrictions that's happening between the hurricanes and the rise in COVID, and the fact that all the dojos are closed and most of the people are older. That's been a difficult situation. And of course, most of the older instructors do not have the technical capability to Zoom, and they need younger technicians. And so that's the reason why we were having a little difficulty grabbing someone for the next session. But we would like to also have people that aren't from Okinawa, like George Mattson or Walter Mattson or Jimmy Thompson or any one of those, or Buzzy Durkin or any one of those people around the world, maybe Vladimir Pobovic or Igor from Slovenia. It would be nice to maybe see or have them also. So, we're in a little bit of a difficult situation because of the world of the COVID right now. But I'm so glad that people still are joining and we get a chance to meet at least once a month. I've certainly made some new friends and seen older ones. So just so you all understand, that's what's going on right now.
Thank you.
Hi. Give the back.
Hello.